瞬息全宇宙今年奥斯卡的最大赢家，这部电影一定有一个庞大的华裔电影制作班底，其实并不是。而今天我要对话的这位嘉宾是在瞬息全宇宙的工作人员中为数不多的一位华裔女孩。瞬息全宇宙今年奥斯卡的最大赢家，就算你还没有看过这部电影，现在也一定已经听说了。她包揽了今年7项奥斯卡大奖，主演杨紫琼更是创造了历史，成为了首位捧得奥斯卡最佳女主角的亚裔演员。看了这部电影之后我一度是以为这部讲述美国华裔家庭的电影中间还掺杂着普通话、广东话等等，一定有一个庞大的华裔电影制作班底，才能够拍出这样一部反映华裔移民家庭奋斗史的故事。其实并不是。而今天我要对话的这位嘉宾是在瞬息全宇宙的工作人员中为数不多的一位华裔女孩。
Hi, my name is Jing New. I'm a filmmaker and an editor based in Los Angeles. I was the post-production coordinator on Everything Everywhere. In my interview, I just expressed to them how I'm a big Michelle Yeoh fan. I've been watching her films since I was a small girl, and she's a big influence on me. And I also told the directors that I love Kung Fu and the wuxia genre, and that's something that I grew up with. And I convinced the directors that they needed me because I had experience editing fight scenes. And so when I was helping my boss, the editor, Paul Rogers, me and 2 other assistant editors, we were his team to help him with the various things that he needed help on with this project.
Did you know what that movie about before you applied for it?
No, I really had no idea, absolutely zero expectations that it would do as well that it's done. You know, when we premiered at
you edited.
Yes, even afterwards, I thought, we worked on this film in 2020. And so the COVID happened, we were working from home.
采访中我非常意外的就是瞬息全宇宙的幕后制作团队，其实大部分都是白人，像牛婧这样从6岁才从重庆随父母移民到美国的华裔更是少之又少，而她的亲身经历也让电影中呈现的华人移民家庭看起来更加的真实。
For example, the apartment scene, I helped them make it look more Chinese because I knew that the art directors, most of them were white, so they didn't understand what an authentic Chinese apartment looked like. When you walk into a Chinese person's home, you smell good food. You see the Lunar New Year calendar on the wall. You have plastic bags in different drawers of the kitchen. There's all these things that immigrants do. You have laundry everywhere in the house. You have phone books in every corner of the room. These are kinds of details that are very specific to our culture. And I knew that I wanted to make that apartment look like the apartment that I grew up in.
瞬息全宇宙中杨紫琼饰演的主角艰难地经营着一家洗衣店，还要每天与税务局斗智斗勇，这些是人们对亚裔美国人的一种普遍印象。但现实中，牛婧的父母是美国北卡罗来纳州为人熟知的会计师事务所的创始人。那么在这样的家庭背景之下，他还会对电影的主人公有认同感吗？
Do you see yourself in the movie or not at all?
I think that's a misconception. Even though my parents are established right now, we did have to start somehow. So our story is very much like Michelle's story in this film, and I related 100% to the main character. And I think that was part of my contribution, was to help Paul understand the daughter character. So sometimes we would have conversations and he would ask me, hey, can you make a playlist of music that she would listen to so I can better understand her character? So I immigrated to the United States when I was 6, and my family worked in restaurants. up until my parents started their accounting business.
牛婧的父母20多年前在美国的餐厅打工时，一定没有想到，在2023年，他们会因为女儿的电影获奖，出席奥斯卡颁奖典礼。其实牛婧追寻电影梦的道路并非是一帆风顺。16岁的时候，她获得了罗德岛设计学院的录取，但之后她转学到了北卡大学教堂山分校，攻读传媒和地质学。然后在杜克大学拿下了纪录片硕士学位。10多年的奋斗和追求，当然是少不了父母的支持，但却并不一定会获得他们的理解。
Like I said, my parents never understood what I did until I went to the Oscars. You know, over the last 10 years, I don't think that my parents fully understood what I was doing, but they love me, so they continue to want me to do very well. But they were always telling me to get a real job, to find a husband and have children and to become a wife. So I'm just really proud of myself for believing in myself to continue to do this up to the point where I can show them, hey, this is a big deal. You need to pay attention to me.
采访最后，牛婧还与我分享了作为一位在好莱坞打拼的少数族裔女性，她的一些深刻的感受和对同行还有后辈的鼓励。希望未来我们可以在国际舞台上看到更多华人取得佳绩，也祝福牛婧。
Do you feel recent years marks a turning point for minorities?
I think this whole process will take at least 100 years, in my opinion.
Wow.
The one thing that I want the audience to take away is just how important art is for our culture. I think a lot of immigrants, when they come over here, they are struggling to survive, to make money, to afford living. And somewhere along the way, we lose ourselves and our stories because we want to become Americans so bad. And I just want to encourage Asians, wherever they are, if they're in China or in Australia or in Europe, to write their own stories. Because we want to hear more stories like this. And it's very important to share our culture, not just through our food, but through our stories. Because our culture is we have 5,000 years of culture and we're still here. So there's a lot to celebrate.